Hi, I'm Carrie and welcome back to my channel. So I thought I would go ahead and do my first deck haul with you. And these are all the mass market decks that I brought into my collection during the month of September and October. So I thought I would go ahead and start by showing you the 3 mini decks that I brought in. And first I would like to say that I don't normally bring this many decks in at one time. I took advantage of sales and some free shipping and that kind of thing, and that's to keep the cost down, and that's why so many came in at once. Okay, so this is the Forest Fae, and I purchased this one off of Amazon, and it's by Nadia Turner. And the only other little deck that I have that is this sort of thing with these skinny cards, who is this by? Rockpool, is the Magic of Avalon. Let me look real quick what that's called. Avalon Magic, yeah. But I've already showed that one, so I wasn't going to show it again. I'm trying to build up. I only have 1 or 2 Fae decks. I have the Forhoxa, and I have that Lucy Cavendish Fairy deck, and do I have another one? I don't think I have another one. If I do, it's escaping me right now. But yes, I'm trying to get in some more Fae or Fairy decks. I want to start working with that energy a little bit. And like I said, I only have, I think, the 2, maybe 3. And that was the reason for the purchase of this one. And I've seen this on a few places on Instagram, you know, in the photos. And I just thought it was so adorable. And I love the little names, the Spiny Sister, and the Lady of the Lost, and the Old Path. I just think it's a Fringe Dweller. I think it's super cute. So yeah, I haven't decided how I'm going to work with it yet, but we will see. The next little mini that I brought in is the Universal Celtic Tarot. And this was purchased during Llewellyn's Samhain sale. I didn't do anything but check through these cards to make sure they were all here. But I want to work with some Celtic energy or see how I feel about them working with Celtic energy. I said in another video that I believe maybe I had a past life of Celtic descent or something, because I'm very drawn to this kind of imagery. But rather than getting the large deck, I wanted to see how I connected with this one first. And just looking through it, I love the images in it. So after I work with it some, I can... if it works out like I'm hoping that it works out, then I can see myself purchasing the larger version. But yes, I think this is, the images are so vibrant. But the book, well, it's just a little white book anyway. I don't know if the full-size version would have any sort of a different book, whether, because it's low scarabeo, so most of them just have those tiny little books that have just a few, you know, keywords, key sentence, whatever in them anyway. And this is Rider-Waite-Smith system. I love this 3 of Wands. I think that's a great 3 of Wands. Do any of you have the Universal Celtic Tarot? And how does it fit into your practice? Do you use it for a specific season? This deck haul is probably going to go on forever or be one of my longer videos because I tend to make short videos because there's quite a few decks to show. So that is the Universal Celtic. And the last mini that I have is the Santa Muerte Tarot. This is also a Lo Scarabeo, also came from Llewellyn. My recent purchase from them, I'm lucky any of these decks made it to me. I usually don't have any issue with Llewellyn decks making it to me. I don't know what happened with this order. But the box was all ripped open. I was actually shocked at the amount of decks were in it that were supposed to be in it. So anyway, this deck has been on and off my wish list multiple times, the full-size version. On and off, I could not make my mind up about it, whether or not that I wanted it. It would be in my cart, out of my cart, and so on. And then when they had this sale and I could get this deck for like $9, I thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get it. I'm going to get the mini and I'm going to see how it works for me. And then it was only $9. So if it doesn't work out, that's okay. This one is not in order, as you can see, because I did use it. I did a deck interview with it, and that was fun. But we'll see how this works for me. And you see that I'm setting the 10s out over here, and that's because I was going to talk about them after I went through this. But I like the images on it. I think it's pretty easy to see what is going on. It's another, it's Rider-Waite-Smith. That's what all the tarots will be. So, does anyone here use this deck? Do you have the full-size version? Oh, look, the last one. So here's my only issue with this deck is I do not like any of these 10 cards. I just don't. I don't know if the book would be different for the full size, because, oh my gosh, I don't even know if I can read this. What is this? Cups. Holy moly. Yeah, even my bifocals. It says, look upon your achievements without indulgence. They are yours and yours alone. I mean, I know what the 10 of Cups means, but I don't get that from this image. So if you do happen to have the full-size version of this deck, does it go into more meaning about the 10s in the suits? Or is it just a copycat of this wee little tiny white book? I would like to know that. So if you have this, please let me know in the comments if the little white book is the same or more in depth. But that is my only issue that I have with this this little mini deck right now. But I'm still going to try to use it. So the next set of decks that I'm going to show you from this haul are the last of the tarot that I got. And that's the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot, the Tarot of the Enchanted Soul, and the Bauer Tarot. So the Guardian Angels Messages Tarot, I got off of, let's see how I can do this. We're going to go backwards. I got off of Hay House, and I picked it up after I watched Dawn Michelle's video about her angel decks, because I had no plans of picking up this deck at all. I have Radley Valentine's other deck, Angel Wisdom Tarot, and I like it just fine. But when she was talking about her angel practice and things that she does and whatever, and I was so fascinated with this deck when she showed it that because when it first came out, I didn't even bother to watch any walkthroughs because I had already resigned myself to the fact that I wasn't going to get it. But then after I did see her in that whole video where she talks about her practice, then did we miss? Oh no, there she is. I went ahead and I ordered it. I like the wisdom of the Angels Tarot, but as soon as I saw this deck, I connected to it immediately. I mean, immediately. I've had an angel practice for a very long time. My angel practice for years and years and years, I can't even tell you the number of years, was very in depth and consumed a lot of my practice. And then I just, not that I stopped, but I just kind of focused on some other things and pulled away from only connecting with angelic energy and that sort. But, and I needed that. I needed to expand and grow and, things of that nature. But I am wanting to re-energize my angel practice, and I am wanting to get back in depth with my angel practice. Not that I can't connect to them at any time I want, because I most certainly can. It's a very easy energy for me to tap into. But I'm wanting, I guess, a little bit more from that kind of practice. And that was the purpose of purchasing this deck, was to re-energize that practice for me. So, yeah, that's why I got it. And I haven't ordered it yet, because I was kind of waiting for the Black Friday sales to see what happens. But I do want to get his new Archangel Michael deck. I do have Doreen's original. All right, I've got to, excuse me while I take my one ring off because it is bothering me to no end. Okay. But I do have Doreen Virtue's Archangel Michael deck. Love it. I have a very deep connection to Archangel Michael. Very deep, very personal. So when I saw that he was coming out with that Michael deck, I thought, that's okay. I already have my own way of practicing with him. So we'll see. But the more cards I've seen from it and things like that, I definitely want it. So that is on my wish list to get. Hopefully I will have that. That can be a Christmas gift to myself to go along with all of these other decks. Do you have an angel practice? What decks do you use for your angel practice? I'm curious to know that. Is it something that you do maybe every day or just once in a while? I will say that this cardstock feels different than his Angel Wisdom cardstock. The Angel Wisdom cardstock for me sticks together constantly, and this one does not. At least it doesn't feel that way. So I'm hoping I get a better shuffle. Excuse me, a better shuffle from this one But that was the purpose of this. It was, Dawn Michelle made me do it. Just kidding. But it was to deepen my angel practice. The next one is the John Bauer Tarot. And this tarot is by Lo Scarabeo. And I got this one during the Llewellyn sale for Samhain. So they're all backwards because I flipped through them when I originally got them to just make sure all the cards were there. But anyway, this is another one, like I talked about, I think it was Santa Muerte, where I said it was in and out of my cart. And that was the same thing with this one. This one was in and out of my cart constantly. It's a Rider-Waite-Smith, but I don't feel that it's a clone in any way. And I think I'm going to, I actually feel like this is a deck that I will just, well, I read all my decks intuitively, so I guess that's a moot point of saying this. But this feels like a very intuitive driven, I'll put it that way. It feels a very intuitive driven deck because the images don't exactly go along with the Rider-Waite-Smith images. So they're so storybook. I love it. It's so sweet, some of these images in here. So I can't wait to see how it reads. And I don't know why, but just flipping through this deck right now, I get like a very maybe wintertime feeling from it. So maybe this is one that I will pull to use in like January or February or something like that. If you have this deck and you're watching, then how do you use it? Or what time of the year do you use it? If it's like, if you put your decks into seasons, do you use it for only specific type of readings? I'd love to know what you use this deck for. I find that very interesting when people share that, how they use certain decks in their practice. And that is the John Bauer Tarot. The last tarot I have to show you is the Tarot of the Enchanted Soul by Yasmin Westwood. And this one I picked up off of Amazon. And this was Elisa Papez made me buy it. I love placing the blame on someone else. Anyway, I'm just kidding when I say that. I don't want anybody to, please don't take that seriously. Okay. I had followed the creator on Instagram and watched while she created or posted some of the cards, and I fell in love with them then. But, you know, then you get swept up in all these other decks or whatever, and I kind of like drifted away from it, I guess. I don't even know, when did this deck come out? Does it have it in here? Published by Red Feather. Oh, it's this year, 2022. Okay. Well, then maybe I'm mistaken. Did she have another deck that she brought out last year? And I'm getting them confused? Or was this an indie deck and then now it's mass market. If anybody knows, let me know, or I'm going to have to look that up. But anyway, like I said, I had followed her on Instagram, and then I stopped using Instagram for a while. But then I saw Lisa Pepez's quick, brief walkthrough of this deck that she picked up from, I think this is the one she says she got from the Northwest Tarot Symposium. And I thought, oh my gosh, this deck is so pretty. So I looked on Amazon for it, and there it was. And right into my cart it went. I think it's beautiful. And if you notice when I'm flipping through, all the suits have a different hue. And oh, look at his eyes. They're gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. You know, this is funny, but when I was dating my husband, he has blue eyes. He does have blue eyes. But when we were dating, he wore contacts more often, and he had the colored contacts, and they were also a blue. So they made his eyes almost like this kind of blue, where his eyes are a lighter blue without them. So that just makes me think about that. But anyway, I just think this deck is beautiful, and fantasy vibe. I think this would be a great intuitive reader. I mean, great intuitive reader. And if you're new, it has keywords. So if that stumped you a little bit and reading intuitively, you could always go with the keywords. I think this is a fabulous beginner deck because of that. But the images they're just beautiful. My only complaint is, man, these cards are huge. They are huge. There's no way I could riffle this. This is going to just be a hand over hand shuffle. Sorry, I'm getting swept up in the images while I'm showing this to you because, like I said, when I got these in, because so many came in really within a week of each other, that I just went through them very quickly to just make sure all the cards were there. But these are so pretty. Oh, look at this death. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Oh, I love this hermit too, with the watch and her sitting on top of the tower. I like that. Oh, and strength with the dragon. Is there a person in it and I'm not seeing it? No. I don't see a person in there. Emperor. Oh, look, he has a little dragon on his shoulder. Yes, very fantasy vibe. Love it. So that is all of the regular size tarot that I brought in. And next I'm going to show you my oracles. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 oracles, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, the last 4 decks I have to show you are oracles, which I mentioned already. And we'll start with the one in the bag. And this, I finally broke down and got it, is Brian Froud's The Fairies Oracle. Everybody talks about loving this oracle, and I said that I wanted to bring more fairy fae energy into my practice, so I got this deck. But I'm going to tell you, this cardstock is awful. And I don't recall hearing anybody mention in their videos, unless I blocked it out, talk about how flimsy this cardstock is. It's really, I mean, so thin. So was it always that way? Is this just the version I got that it happened to be this thin? If it says in here, the copyright 2000. So did they switch to a thinner cardstock? Because it's pretty, yeah. I won't go on and on about it, but yeah. So I am going to, I had decided right away that I'm going to put keywords around this deck. Definitely at the bottom, and maybe a keyword or something at the top also. We'll see what I end up doing. But I'm definitely going to put keywords on it, because I'm not going to memorize what these cards mean, and I don't want to have to pull the book out, you know, all the time. So I already planned on doing that. But I love these images. They're great. But yeah, the only thing I can say about it is I was so excited to get this, because I've seen so many people recommend this deck for Faerie, recommend this deck for Fae, recommend this deck for multiple different reasons. Nudity, and I don't know, when I took it out and, like I said, felt the cardstock, I was shocked. I love these little creatures, though. So this, it does have a good amount of cards, though. I will say that. So I am very pleased with the amount of cards that are in here. Because, you know, oracles can really skimp out on the amount of cards that are put into the deck. That looks like an alien. So does that one. So yeah, if you have Brian Froud's Fairies Oracle, let me know your experience with it, the experience with cardstock. If you've had it a long time, tell me how it held up for you, because I am really concerned about that. I am concerned about how this is going to hold up for me in the future, because of how thin it is. The next oracle I have is Into the Lonely Woods by Lucy Cavendish, an artwork by Dan May, and this was picked up during the Llewellyn Samhain sale. And this deck is, oh my God, it's so freaking adorable. I don't even know how else to describe it. It's just absolutely adorable. And if I would have had this deck at the time I filmed my Living in Tarot, I would have put myself living in this one, because, oh my gosh, who wouldn't want to live with these little creatures and in this world? And they're just all soft and fuzzy. Oh. But I kind of, like I said, I haven't used this yet. I just briefly looked through it really quickly. It's on that matte cardstock that kind of sticks together. I haven't shown the backs of any cards. I told you I stink at walkthroughs. But anyway, that's the only thing, is it has this matte cardstock where it sticks to each other. And these cards are big, but that's okay. I'll get over it. I kind of got this deck, in my mind anyway, for like a little bit of a hug deck. But we will see, because I haven't read with it yet. So it might not be that way. So I'm really curious as to what kind of energy it's going to put out. Do you have Into the Lonely Woods, and how do you use it? Let me know. There's that other deck that's very similar to this. Oh, it's also, I think, has Dan May's artwork. And I can't remember what the name of it is now. Shoot. But anyway, this is the one that I was drawn to. It's just so sweet. The images are sweet, I'll say that. The images are just so sweet. Oh. I don't know when this deck, I don't think this deck has been out very long, maybe a year. Oh, look at him, or her, or they, whichever. Doesn't that owl look out of place with all the other furry creatures in here? Although the owl is in other cards, so I guess not. So, but yes, this is Into the Lonely Woods. And again, I'll say it like with all my decks. If you have it and you work with it, let me know and how you like to use it. My next deck I'm going to show you is the Sufi Wisdom Oracle. By Rasuli, I believe is how you say the name. This also came from the Llewellyn sale. And this is how I came about getting this deck. Now, with the amount of oracles that I have, you wouldn't think that I have any issue finding an oracle to go with anything. But sometimes, you know, I don't know, I wanted, I guess, a different balance or whatever to the oracles that I had. And I had asked in one of the Facebook groups that I belong to, and I had asked what they felt was their best mass market oracle deck, all around oracle deck that you would use with any tarot for any reason whatsoever. And oh, I had multiple decks suggested to me, multiple, and several of the decks I had already owned. So that was fun, seeing what other people suggested, and then here I already owned them. But I thought this was very interesting when I looked into this. And while this one is from Llewellyn, I do know that Hay House has the Sufi Tarot. I'm not quite interested in that yet. I do know that there's several walkthroughs on that, and people have it and are enjoying it, at least from some of the walkthroughs that I've seen. But I thought I would go ahead and use this oracle and see how I like this. And the cards are stunning. I mean, the images are just stunning. The colors are vibrant and they're just beautiful. And yeah, I really could see slipping into a meditation with these cards too, with the way the images are and the vibrancy of them. I could very easily see using these cards to path work or meditate on. So again, do you have the Sufi Wisdom Oracle, and How do you use it? Do you just use it like for a weekly draw, or is it serve a different part of your practice? Oh, this is gorgeous. Trust your gut feeling. The union of love, just beautiful. And again, the cards are huge, which I can't remember. Did I say that already? I think so. I mean, yeah, they're big. So it'll be an end over end shuffle to them, but I look forward to using them, and I will let you know. And the last and final deck I have to show is the Woodland Wardens. This deck is the deck I am currently using in my November practice. And truth be told, I am really not an animal deck person. I own 2 animal decks. When I was sitting here trying to think about what I had. Yeah, 2. I have the Spirit Animal Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. That was my first animal oracle. And I have the Animal Kin Oracle. I believe that's also by Hay House. Did I say where I got this from? This came off of Amazon. So the only reason, and out of, well, I'll say out of the other 2, the Colette Baron Reed Spirit Animal Oracle is my favorite. So this one came in to see about working more with animal energy. Like I said, I have the other one, but you know, is one ever enough? I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I do not have any animal tarot. I have looked through my tarot decks. I don't have any, any animal tarot decks. Now look, I'm saying that and then all of a sudden one will fly out at me. But I even looked through my book of where I have a log of all my decks and I did not see one in there either. So, and I've never been drawn to really buy an animal tarot deck. So it surprised me when I thought, oh, I'm going to get, you know, the Woodland Wardens. I've seen rave reviews over this deck. It has very nice cardstock. So I love the images on it too. I'm not real fond of eels and snakes, but you know, let's just hope that I don't have to see those that often. I'm just kidding. So, but yeah, this is what I'm using, and I'm pairing it with my, well, is this one? Oh, I guess it's just one card. I'm pairing it with my Farerie Tarot this month, and I will talk about that in my November monthly musings. And do you have this deck? If you do have the Woodland Wardens, what do you pair it with? How do you like to use it? Do you use it for a specific time of the year? Let me know in the comments below. So guys, that is everything I got in as far as mass market goes in the month of September and October. Let me know in the comments below if you have any of these decks and how you use them, or if you saw some of these and maybe they intrigued you that you may look into getting them now. Thanks for sticking with me if you made it all the way to the end, and thanks for watching. I never thought I would do a deck haul, so I was surprised, but when you get this amount of goodies in, you just need to share them. So don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you know when my next video is. So until next time, bye.